Hello everyone, Zero Raven here again, and yes, I know we've already covered this airplane in our Let's Play SimplePlanes video series, but I just want to go ahead and give this beautiful looking Wasp, well, they call it a Hornet. It's special to do, because I know I didn't cover everything on this aircraft the last time. So, just for a refresher, this is SimplePlanes VR. This is their stock aircraft, the Wasp. It's an F-18C Hornet look-alike, which means it's technically a U.S. Navy or U.S. Marine Corps plane. As you can tell, I don't know if we'll be able to see it or not. I'm trying to remember how to pan this view around. Let's see, orbit. How do I? There we are. See, it says SP Navy, so SimplePlanes Navy. It's their little take on, U.S. Navy. As you can tell, again, we have a full armament of AMRAAM missiles, Sidewinder missiles, Inferno air-to-ground missiles, and bombs. And as you can tell, this is a very nice-looking airplane here. Has pilot identification on the side there. I don't know if you can read that. It says Captain Russell's, call sign Dusty. Very nice. Obviously the plane is 17, that's the plane number. Has formation lights, navigation lights, and tail hook. Look at that. Look at those engines. Now again, the reason I'm doing this playthrough again with this aircraft is I know I didn't show off all the features like the Boom 50s, the Infernos. We obviously don't have any rockets. I did a little bit of air-to-air. This time we're going to try to fly to a new location also. I apologize again in advance because I know previously the default volume on this was a little bit too loud. So hopefully this should solve that issue. So let's get rolling here. We're also going to try to fly to a new island today, which will be kind of cool. I know you guys are excited. And we have liftoff. Gear. Let's go ahead and change our flaps back. Tracting landing gear. I honestly love this game. I know it's so silly, especially graphically compared to other games like Microsoft Flight Simulator, where graphically they just are superior. But in terms of being a fun little game, it's, it's pretty awesome. Before I forget, let me go ahead and activate some nav lights. Don't want anybody thinking I'm not a friendly. That'd be bad, wouldn't it? Also, air-to-air. Here we go. As you can tell with our air-to-ground, we have a drop indicator which shows the trajectory of our bombs. And you see that green circle down there. That's the impact point. So, anything within that circle will be damaged. Aha, land ho. You can see it already. So now, in the mobile version of this game, it really only has 4 islands. It has the default island, which you take off of, which is Wright Island. Wright Airport, rather. There's also a northern runway to that on its own little island. This island coming up is home to 2 different airports. It's a volcanic island, so there's a volcano in the middle. It's that big mountain that we're seeing there. There's also a couple bridges you can destroy. And in the mobile version, at least, there is some air-to-ground targets that you can attack. I haven't seen them in this version. I don't know if they're actually in SimplePlanes VR, if they're spawnable, if there's some hidden setting that I haven't found yet. But here we are. Also, there's a northern island, which we're going to see if we can fly to as well, if we have the fuel for it. I'm going to cut our throttle back just slightly so we're not in burn or burning all that fuel. keep an eye on our airspeed as well. Then there's also an island to the south of our starting point, Right Island, where there's a racetrack and a few other areas. It was primarily in the PC and mobile versions designed for the cars that you can also create in SimplePlanes. I will get around to testing the buggies if they're in this game. I haven't really looked. I believe they are. So if they are, great. As you can tell, the sun is setting. Beautiful sunset over the water. That water texture could use a little bit of variance. So if we look to our left here, we have some mountains and some hilly areas. In between the main mountain up there and these little rocky cliff areas here, you'll see what looks kind of like a dirt road. At least in the SimplePlanes mobile and PC versions, there is a column of tanks and vehicles that will spawn in there, allowing you to get some air-to-ground practice. There's one of our bridges that we were talking about. Let's see if we can... I don't recall if they will spawn in here, again, or if there's a setting which I have to change. Look at that moon. So pretty. But typically flying over this roadway in here will trigger the spawn. There's also an airport over here, if you're ever down to it. Down to trying to land, that is. I haven't discovered that one in this, I don't think. Fly under the bridge here. Woohoo! Whoa, Nelly. Yeah, it doesn't look like that is gonna spawn here, so let's what's our fuel at? Oh, we're about 75%. We should be sufficient to fly onto our next landscape here. Which direction is north? North. There we are. Compass and heading north. Bingo. Now, also in the SimplePlanes mobile version, this is my first time flying this way, just so we're clear, in this version of the game. In the SimplePlanes mobile version, at least, there's another aircraft carrier and two there they are. Aircraft carrier and two escorts that will fly out, not fly out, I'm not talking about flying out, will head out from this island heading north. Eventually they will run into our snow-capped island, but if they think you're a hostile, since they're World War II destroyers and a World War II carrier called the Tiny 2, actually, they will start shooting flak at you, and it's a great way to get dead quick. I've been hit by flak more than once, so I'm going to try to stay away from that. As Captain Sparrow would say, "Stop blowing holes in my ship." But this is going to be a little bit of a flight here, folks, so just bear with me. I don't see them shooting flak at me. Maybe it's because they don't think I'm a threat, but I don't want to go ahead and buzz them just in case. They're usually pretty fairly accurate. So let's just keep on our course. So the really cool thing about this northern island that'll be coming up eventually, like I said, it's a little bit of a flight, so bear with me, folks. The cool thing about this northern island is it has a few hidden features. There's obviously your basic runway airport, which pretty cool by itself. There's also a few hidden spawn areas, at least again in the mobile and PC versions, because you have to locate these before you can land, take off, etc. But those there's a hidden base near the summit of the mountain that actually has missiles that will shoot at you. It has a defense mechanism which will use a laser to destroy incoming projectiles. but it's also a secret landing point, because once you've taken out the rocket or the missile launchers, you can land on there, and it's called Snow Base. So there's our island. That was pretty quick. It's in the mobile version. It seems to take a little bit longer, and we're doing well on fuel too. We're not even at 50%, which is great. So when building your own aircraft for this game, you will see that making a maneuverable aircraft is pretty easy. Making a fast aircraft is pretty easy. Making a stable aircraft is pretty easy. Making a aircraft that has lots of fuel is also pretty easy. But the catch is doing it all together, because certain engines will burn fuel faster than others. The large blasto engines, I believe is what they're called. They're basically what's on this F-18 here. I know it's not an F-18, but it looks like one. They tend to burn a lot of fuel, but not as much fuel as the large turbofan engines like you would find on a jetliner. You also have some smaller engines, as well as VTOL engines, which we will tackle the VTOLs when we look at the VTOL aircraft that we have for this game. We're coming up on our snow-covered mountains here. So far that's 3 of the available islands that we've seen so far. We saw Wright Island, we saw the island back there, and now we're seeing our snowy island. And actually, you can see, aha, location discovered. There it is. Okay. I don't know if we're going to be able to take these things out. We have to wait until the very last minute to hit them. Yep, we're already under fire. Here's my countermeasures. Missile track. Crap. Well, that went badly. Yeah. Let's let's show you a few of the different islands instead. Let's go ahead and show you the Stunt Island, which is pretty cool. In order to do that, we're going to have to take off. Whoa. Everyone, just forget that you saw that, because that was bad planning on my part. Let's bank left over this mountain range here. You can see the Tiny there. USS Tiny. Let's see if I can get a flyby of it. It's a World War II class, World War II era, I should state, aircraft carrier. Get a little lower to it. As opposed to the larger USS Beast aircraft, which or aircraft carrier. See, looks like a World War II carrier or a modern day VTOL carrier. Unlike the Beast, which is a larger aircraft carrier in the style of the old Nimitz class, the Tiny and the Tiny 2 are obviously smaller, designed for VTOL or prop airplanes, like, you know, if this were the real world, I'd say, you know, the F-4U Corsair or things like that. So we're coming up on our Stunt Island here. Yes, it's green. It's also green, gray, red. Has lots of fun little things if you're driving a car around. Obviously, right now we're not driving a car around. But I'll do a flyby and circle of this, and you can see for yourself. It has one large roadway surrounding the perimeter of the island. Also has that ovaloid racetrack there. There we are. You see the green jump ramps, things like that. Slalom courses. I just keep unlocking stuff. Slalom courses and jump ramps and all kinds of fun little areas there. It's a lot of fun to try to line up one of your airplanes on those ramps and use it as sort of a ski jump. Now, in the mobile version, we're going to head west. Wait. No, we want east. We're heading east. In the mobile version, it's just those 4 islands. In the PC version, and hopefully in the VR version, there is another island out this direction. Pretty decent flight, but it's a desert island. If you ever watch any of the trailers for this game on Steam or anything like that, they're usually for the PC version, and it shows this island. And if you're a mobile player like me, you will never ever find it. Hopefully, it appears. Let me get a little altitude here. Hopefully, it appears in this, because otherwise, I'm just gonna be wasting fuel, and nobody wants to see that. So, let's talk about some of our weapons while we're doing this. The Inferno is an air-to-ground missile, similar to the real-life Hellfire missile. It's a fire-and-forget missile, so you lock onto your target, you launch it, and you can bank away, take evasive action, whatever it is you need to do. It's pretty good. It doesn't have a whole lot of impact. It takes 4 of them to knock out one of the cruisers around the USS Beast. Again, this is personal experience here. In the PC and mobile versions, you can mod them to do more damage, and also switch them to multi-role targeting, which means they'll track air-to-air or air-to-ground targets. You can do that with pretty much any weapon of the missile variety. So you can do the Sidewinders, you can do the AMRAAMs, you can do the Infernos. I know, not Sidewinder, not AMRAAM, Guardian, Interceptor, but close enough. Still no sign of this island here. It's supposed to be out here. Am I heading in the right direction? Lord, I hope so. If I hit 50% fuel and I haven't found it, I'm going to abort. And hopefully make it back to land. But come on. I was really hoping to show it off to you guys. Maybe it's because it's dark and it just blends into the ocean. I mean, I'm heading east. Which, if I did a direct abort and I headed west, I would end up either at the roadway island, or I would hit land back at Wright Airport. Fuel's getting a little low and the sun's coming up. Maybe that'll help. Now we're still on target, so I am not seeing a darn thing. Yeah. I really don't want to run out of fuel, so even with that drop tank. Wait. I know, my controls are a little all over the place right now. See, unfortunately, I'm freehanding this. So I'm just using my hands, no control stick or things like that. Sheesh, if I didn't know any better, it almost looks like the world's end. I am not seeing this island anywhere. I think it's about time to abort. Yeah. Fuel level. I'm not even running in burner. Yeah, I'm not seeing this island at all. Darn, I was really kind of hoping to show it to you guys. Somebody said it's in here on the SimplePlanes forums. Otherwise, I wouldn't have flown you all out this far. But it gave us a little bit of time to talk, which is nice. So anyway, one other cool feature about this game is it has dynamic weather. Or let me rephrase this, it can have dynamic weather if you turn it on. Meaning it will go from day to night with a full sunrise and sunset cycle. Obviously, at least in the mobile and PC versions, the length of day is customizable. It also has rain, wind, which is always kind of fun. I mean, there's not really a whole lot else to describe about it. It's a pretty fun game. The longest part is always the flying. Be kind of boring, but so let's talk weaponry. Just because I know you guys are interested in that, you want to see what some of these things can do. There's generally two types of freefall bombs: the Boom 25, which is a 250-pound bomb, and then the Boom 50, which is obviously a larger, looks like a Mark 84 bomb. The Inferno, like I said, is like a Hellfire missile, essentially. There is a cruise missile in here. It's called the Cleaver. It has a nice 9+ mile range, which is great for long-distance lock-ons. It's kind of slower. You can actually very easily outfly it, but it packs a wallop. One cleaver is enough to take out one of the destroyers. Usually one to two cleavers is enough to take out one of the aircraft carriers. Again, and like I said, the long distance means you can fire and, turn around and sit back and watch from a relatively safe distance. Most missiles in this game, with the exception of the Cleaver and the Interceptor, won't lock on past, give or take, 5 miles. So, nice little range there. We also have rockets and rocket pods. When I say rockets and rocket pods, I mean we have a pod of 7 rockets, and then there's individual rockets which you can sling to your aircraft, similar to a World War II style airplane would have. You also have your Interceptor, you have your Guardian. We have 2 different types of machine guns. We have the Gatling gun style, which is what's on this aircraft. As you can see, it's not exactly 100% dead accurate. There's a little bit of a variance. But there's also a wing style gun, which is again more akin to what's on a World War II aircraft and can only be equipped to a wing structure of one of these airplanes. So when I get around to the P-51 series airplanes, you will see that they have those in there. So I'm not going to bomb the Beast. I like the Beast, and if I ever need to try to do a carrier landing, that's the one to land on. But what I will do is, just to be mean, I know, I'm so mean, I will try to plant some of these bombs on the deck of the Tiny. Speaking of, there she is. So, let's see what we can do. Let's see. There it is. 8.4 miles. Turn. Dead on. So, when you have a target selected like this, especially with a bomb type weapon, there will be that little reticle right in front of the there will be a circle, rather, right in front of the target. This shows the point you need to aim in order to impact the target. The closer you are to center, the more likely you are to hit, especially in these, ocean-going vessels. So let's see if I can plant one of these 50s right on the deck. 3, 2, 1, release. Oh, wrong button. Let's, sorry about that. I squeeze my thumbstick because normally that's my fire button, or my, index finger button, because that's normally my fire button, but I forgot in this game it's one of the other pickle buttons. Where's that target? There she is. And yes, you can launch bombs inverted. Hopefully your rails have enough kickoff, because if they don't, you're going to be in trouble. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, pickle. I missed. That was a miss. That was definitely a miss. That close, you would have heard the impact. Let's try this again. Try to line it up more on the 6 o'clock axis. So we're running down the length. It's usually easier to hit at that way. And coming in, 3, 2, 1, and pickle. That is a hit. That is definitely a hit because I just blew myself up. Splash damage. Well, yes, I'm sure you guys are absolutely loving this, watching me blow myself up. So, splash damage is a real thing, clearly. So, well, you saw me use an Inferno against the ice base. What you didn't see was it probably got destroyed by the laser system. You saw me use the Boom 50 against a ship. A little harder to do because it's a moving target. It's over water, so a miss doesn't offer any splash damage at all. My previous video, you saw me use the Guardians and the Interceptors. I mean, that's really all there is to this plane. So this will be part 2 of my Let's Play SimplePlanes game video series. And I hope to see you guys for the next video. This will be Zero Raven, signing off. End recording.